morning.
Today is Monday, April 6th, and we'll be reading Deuteronomy 30 and 31.
All right. We have Deuteronomy 30 and 31.
Oh no.
What's that? Did you not find it? Oh, you're at 33. And then we have our all of our Zoom meetings on the mirror.
I have them.
You don't have them. B doesn't have them.
Now this.
Ooh, you have Z sessions.
Z. Yes, nap time.
Nap time.
Oh. All right. We have our spots. We have our thumbs up. Catherine wants a different Bible.
Okay.
So she didn't want that one. Here you go, Catherine.
Just like, just take it.
All
I want this one.
right. 30. Oh, thumbs up. Yes, thank you so much. High five. Fist bump.
Thumbs up.
Good job. Fist bump.
Oh, it's a high five. Okay.
All right.
Chapter 30, the promise of restoration. When all these things happen to you, the blessing and the curse which I have set before you, and you remember them among all the nations where the Lord your God has driven you, then you must return to the Lord your God and obey his voice according to all that I am commanding you today, you and your children, with all your heart and with all your soul. Then the Lord your God will overturn your captivity and have compassion on you, and will return and gather you from all the nations where the Lord your God has scattered you. If any of you are driven out to the outmost parts of heaven, from there will the Lord your God gather you, and from there he will get you. The Lord your God will bring you to the land which your fathers possessed, and you shall possess it. He will prosper you and multiply you more than your fathers. The Lord your God will circumcise your heart and the heart of your descendants to love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, so that you may live. The Lord your God will put all these curses on your enemies, on them who hate you, who persecuted you. You will return and obey the voice of the Lord and obey all his commandments, which I am commanding you today. The Lord your God will make you prosper in every work of your hand, in the offspring of your body, and in the offspring of your livestock, and in the produce of your land for good. For the Lord will once again rejoice over you for good, just as he rejoiced over your fathers, if you obey the voice of the Lord your God, by keeping his commandments and his statutes, which are written in the book of law, and if you return to the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul. The choice of life or death. This commandment which I am commanding you today is not hidden from you, nor is it far off. It is not in heaven that you should say, who will go up for us to heaven and bring it to us, so that we may hear it and do it. It is not beyond the sea, so that you should say, who shall go over the sea for us and bring it to us, so that we may hear it and do it. But the word is very near to you, in your mouth and in your heart, so that you may do it. See, today I have set before you life and prosperity, and death and disaster. What am I commanding you today is to love the Lord your God, to walk in his ways and to keep his commandments and his statutes and his judgments, so that you may live and multiply. Then the Lord your God will bless you in the land which you go to possess. But if your heart turns away so that you do not obey, but are drawn away and worship other gods and serve them, then I declare to you today that you will surely perish, and that you will not prolong your days in the land which you are crossing the Jordan to go in and possess. I call heaven and earth to witness against you this day that I have set before you life and death, blessing and curse. Therefore choose life, that both you and your descendants may live, that you may love the Lord your God, that you may obey his voice, and that you may cling to him, for he is your life and the length of your days, and that you may dwell in the land that the Lord swore to your fathers, to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, to give them. Chapter 31, Joshua to succeed Moses. Then Moses went and spoke these words to all Israel. He said to them, I am 120 years old today. I can no longer come and go. Also the Lord has said to me, you may not cross over the Jordan. The Lord your God will cross over before you. He will destroy these nations before you. You will possess them, and Joshua will cross over before you, just as the Lord has said. The Lord will do to them as he did to Sihon and to Og, the kings of the Amorites, and to their land which he destroyed. The Lord will give them up before you, so that you may do to them according to all their commandments which I have commanded you. Be strong and of good courage. Fear not, nor be afraid of them. For the Lord your God, it is he who goes with you. He will not fail you, nor forsake you. Moses called to Joshua and said to him in the sight of all Israel, be strong and of good courage, for you must go with this people to the land which the Lord has sworn to their fathers to give them, and you will enable them to inherit it. The Lord, he goes before you, and he will be with you. He will not fail you nor forsake you. Do not fear, do not be dismayed. Moses wrote the law and delivered it to the priests, the sons of Levi, who bore the ark of the covenant and of the Lord, and to all the elders of the Israel. Moses commanded them, saying, at the end of every 7 years, at the time of the year of the cancellation of debts, at the Feast of Tabernacles, when all of Israel has come to appear before the Lord your God in the place which he will choose, you must read this law before all Israel in their hearing. Gather the people together, men, women, children, and your foreigner who is within your town, so that he may hear and learn and fear the Lord your God, and observe to do all the words of this law. The children who have not known it may hear and learn to fear the Lord your God, as long as you live in the land which you crossed the Jordan to possess. Prediction of Israel's rebellion. The Lord said to Moses, indeed your days draw near when you must die. Call Joshua and present yourselves in the tent of meeting, so that I may commission him. So Moses and Joshua went and presented themselves in the tent of meeting. The Lord appeared in the tent in a pillar of cloud, and the pillar of cloud stood over the door of the tent. The Lord said to Moses, you're about to lie down with your fathers, and this people will rise up and begin to prostitute themselves after the gods of the foreigners of the land, where they are going to be among them, and will forsake me and break my covenant which I have made with them. Then my anger will burn against them on the day, and I will forsake them, and I will hide my face from them, and they will be devoured. And many disasters and troubles will befall them, so that they will say in this day, have not these disasters come upon us, because our God is not among us? And I will surely hide my face in that day for all the evil things which they shall have done, in that they turn to other gods. Now therefore write yourself this song and teach it to the children of Israel. Put it on their mouths, so that this song may be a witness for me against the children of Israel. For when I have brought them into the land which I swore to their fathers, flowing with milk and honey, and they have eaten and filled themselves and become fat, then they will turn to other gods and serve them and provoke me and break my covenant. Then when many disasters and troubles have fallen on them, this song will testify against them as a witness, for it must not be forgotten from the mouths of their descendants. For I know their intentions, in which they were developing even more, before I have brought them into the land which I promised. Therefore Moses wrote this song the same day and taught it to the children of Israel. He gave Joshua the son of Nun an exhortation and said, be strong and of good courage, for you will bring the children of Israel into the land which I swore to them, and I will be with you. When Moses had finished writing the words of this law in a book, until they were completed, then Moses commanded the Levites, who bore the ark of the covenant of the Lord, saying, take this book of the law and put it beside the ark of the covenant of the Lord your God, so that it may be there for a witness against you. For I know your rebellion and your stiff neck. Even now, while I am yet alive with you today, you have been rebellious against the Lord. How much more after my death? Gather to me all the elders of your tribes and your offices, so that I may speak these words into their hearing and call heaven and earth to witness against them. For I know that after my death you will utterly corrupt yourselves and turn aside from the way which I have commanded you, and disaster will befall you in the latter days, because you will do evil in the sight of the Lord to provoke him to anger through the work of your hands. The Song of Moses. Moses spoke the words of this song until they were finished in the hearings of all the assembly of Israel.
We get to find out the song tomorrow. Are you ready? Now, Joshua is bothered because he doesn't have his place. He lost his place, and Gabriel asked him to
Right
stop
there.
playing.
That's the end.
And Gabriel put it on there. You were on the
You're
right
on the right page.
page. You see that?
Now, Father. Father.
You are, but Gabriel got you there.
No, I do the other.
You got you there?
I told him to stop, but I tried to help him, but he didn't want me. Well, he didn't want me to
But see, you were there the whole time. So put your bookmark. You ready for tomorrow?
He's so looking
All
long.
right.
Good morning. Bye.
Okay.
I see my.
Bye.
Bye. Please subscribe.
Please
Have a great subscribe.
Wait, no, I said,
Please.
please subscribe.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.